Welcome and good afternoon on Tuesday. This is another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. I am one of the hostess from Grand Slam Cards. Hostess. Now I'm hungry. I am Josh, along with Michael. We've got It's Cobb in the background. We've got John over in his cage. We're ready to do another podcast. What's up, Michael, at Medium Rare Cards?
Not much. Had a good Father's Day weekend. Happy belated Father's Day to you, Josh.
Same to you. I had a good one too.
Father's Day has always been a mystery to me. So let me ask you this: If I would ask your wife if you're easy to shop for, what would she say?
She would say no, because whatever Josh wants, he just goes out and gets himself, because I'm
exactly. That's what I tell Susan. That's what I tell her. She's like, you are impossible to shop for. It's like, because the stuff that I want, I usually just go get.
Right.
Like, I don't want you to have to go and do the type of research that I do for stuff that I want. That's usually the path that I take.
We're doing them a favor by buying ourselves stuff.
See, I don't
think it works like that. My wife says she's the easiest to shop for, and I'm like,
exactly. So I think it's funny. It's a joke in our house. I usually end up doing yard work and cooking on Father's Day. Could you imagine what Mother's Day would be like in your house if you said, "All right, honey, why don't you clean and cook on Mother's Day?" That's an impossibility. There's not a universe where that happens.
Yeah, and I've already said I run the gauntlet, because my wife's birthday, our anniversary, and Mother's Day are like all within like a 2-week span. So I can't. It's usually a rough one financially for me during that time. And
remind me never to ask you for a monetary favor in May. I'm not going to do that in May. So, well, other than Father's Day, I stopped into a local card shop this weekend.
You did? Let's hear about your experience.
It was nice. It had been a while since I'd been to Grand Slam Cards in Rock Hill. And
thanks for supporting us.
Oh, always. And this is tied to my card from the vault, but I bought a box of this of the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings. But before I get into that, I do want to do a quick rundown. This is the opening rip. Then we're going to jump into some new products. Pretty thin release week. And then we're going to jump behind the counter. The NBA finals are over. The National is around the corner, and this is when people start really paying attention to the NFL, especially with football cards. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to handle just one it's a really good listener question. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you're joining us live, drop your question in the comments. And then a little bit of hobby news with a certain grading company. And then card from the vault, and then hits from the shop. We're going to remind everybody about trade night and the trade night break, that there are still some spots available. And then Josh, since he's good about doing homework, and I am not, we're going to do crazy stat of the week. But let me get back to the opening rip. So I opened this box of Lord of the Rings, and let me just tell you this, guys. If you are a fan of the franchise and know nothing about cards and know nothing about Magic the Gathering, you're still going to like this product. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And like, I'm a big soundtrack guy, but I literally heard the Lord of the Rings soundtrack playing in my head while I'm opening these cards.
That's talent.
It's great. It was fantastic. I do have one card for the from that rip behind me for a card from the vault. But I mean, how was it received, Josh, at the shop this weekend?
Good. Yeah, the demand has driven the price up, and demand and availability, and so that sometimes slows it a bit when it's a little more expensive than normal. But we've sold it really well. You say if you don't know anything about the game, you'd still enjoy it. What's even cooler is if you do understand the game and the mechanics of the game, then some of these cards make even more sense, and they really lean into those movies. Like certain cards can only be blocked by other certain types of cards, and it usually goes together with the movie lore. And so you don't have to know the movie to know that, but if you know the movie, then those cards even have another cool part to reading them and understanding them. So,
well, I mean, if you've listened to the podcast before, you know that I'm just a sucker for like Stadium Club and Luminance Football, which is coming around the corner, because I'm just a sucker for great photography and great artwork. And Josh, you nailed it. You said, you know what? You told me this a couple weeks ago, Michael. You may want to look at this product because of the artwork and because of how beautiful it is, and it's fantastic.
that's what got me a few years ago into getting into Magic, because I was like, well, I should probably learn one of these games here at the shop. And I'm like, I just love the artwork and just looking at these cards. And so then I learned the game, and I was like, wow, this game's actually really cool. So,
and it got me thinking about other IP, intellectual property, that this would be perfect for. And I just don't know enough about Magic the Gathering to sort of pull that out. Like, could they do this? I mean, this is on like the verge of ultra geekiness, but could they do this with like Transformers?
Yeah, I don't want to say they've done something similar already. I should probably know that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think I heard Doctor Who is next.
Oh my goodness, that's a pretty big franchise.
Yeah, I think that's a confirmed rumor, but I could be wrong on that. One of my customers told me that. So,
like Transformers, I was thinking, I don't know if it would translate. Harry Potter obviously would be a good one. I didn't realize that in 29, because I went down the rabbit hole on this trying to figure out what I was looking at. They did this. It was a limited release. It was like 9 card pack in 2019. They did this for Stranger Things.
Yeah, they'll do these secret lair. I think they're called secret lair releases like that. So very limited.
I'm going to continue making this episode all about me. Let me ask you this. So what are list cards? Like I watched a couple breaks of this product, and we're like, oh, there's some list cards in this product. And if you don't know, you don't know. But there were certainly some cards that didn't have like the ring insignia that made it look like it was part of the product, and it wasn't a character that I would ever even think was in Lord of the Rings. But there were some characters, some cards that I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it was still a ton of fun. What is a list card in Magic the Gathering? And if you guys are listening, I see we got some folks that are watching live. If you know what a list card is in Magic the Gathering, drop that in the chat. I would love to know. I know, JP, if you're listening, let us know.
Here, I'll just answer it for you. The list is a rotating list of 300 cards that can be opened in set boosters. These cards have a 25% chance to be opened in the marketing card slot. They're printed with the same art frame, set symbol, collector number as when the card was first printed, except with the Planeswalker symbol. So,
yeah, it means nothing.
Yeah, I know a lot about magic, and that still has me a little. I need someone to tell me in layman's terms.
Yes. Facebook user, what is up? All right. Well, let's just go ahead and just, like I said, stop making this episode about me and my Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings box. Ton of fun to open. Hit Josh up. I'm pretty sure these things will not last too much longer. I don't know how much inventory you have of it, or how much more you're getting. Is it like Pokemon? Is it just comes in waves? Like after the release, it goes really thin?
Yeah, so those 4 serial numbered bounty cards, those are only in collector's boosters.
Mm-hmm.
As of yesterday, my distributor still did not have any more collector's boosters. We've sold a bunch. We still have some left here in the store if anyone wants to chase that $2 million card. I saw a Facebook comment today that said rumor has it that one of one card has been pulled, but I have not seen anything or heard anything on that yet. Is the next segment what's new in the shop? Because we're going to talk about.
Yeah, let's go. What's new in the shop? What's hitting the shelves this week?
Since we've already touched on Lord of the Rings, Jacob, if you'll throw that Lord of the Rings picture up there. So on this poster, this talks about the one of one card that it has the $2 million bounty on it. Those other 3 cards next to them are serial numbered as well. One is numbered to 900, one is numbered to 700, one is numbered to 300. So if you hang out until we get to hits from the shop, you'll see one of those cards was pulled by a customer, and it'll be in that segment. I do want to say, for the $2 million bounty, a little extra tidbit about that says, Spanish gaming store Gremio de Dragones.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that? Says it's offering 2 million euros for the one of one card, which translates to about 2.1 million USD. Says that's not all, though. The shop is even offering to fly whoever finds the card to Valencia and pay for their accommodations, something the last bounty didn't offer. So we'll see if that gets hit, but could be pulled right here in Rock Hill if it hasn't been pulled yet.
That's just amazing to me.
Rumor has it too that they're going to do this in some upcoming sets as well, which is smart. I said they should do this years ago, but add a little demand, give something to chase in one of these products. I didn't realize it would get this expensive.
So I guess it's just the perfect storm, right? Of Magic the Gathering having a bigger audience than I realized, and then Lord of the Rings obviously is just a monster franchise.
And you'll get the sports card guys that just like to rip for potential cash in. You know, I've had some sports guys dip over into the Magic section this week only just for a shot at maybe opening and hitting that one of one card. So,
well, I was one of those guys. I'd never been to that part. I'd never been to that part of the shop, except to go say hey to Aaron.
Maybe you'll learn how to play, and then I can play against you. But this segment is new in the shop, so that's something that was new in the shop on Friday. Coming tomorrow is Donruss Racing. Believe it or not, we'll have that in the shop tomorrow. On Friday is Leaf Metal Draft Football. And then for our gaming side of the store, Pokemon has a couple new products. The new Build and Battle Stadium and Build and Battle decks, along with Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a new set, Monstrous Revenge. We'll have that as well. We're sanctioned, so we can sell that Yu-Gi-Oh! A little early, like as early as tomorrow when it arrives. But like you said, it's kind of a light week for new in the shop. So we'll have some fill-in stuff hitting on Thursday just to keep the shelves full for the weekend. And yeah.
Awesome. Just to catch up, yeah, JP is saying that a list card is pretty much like a reprint.
That's kind of what I got from that.
Like putting a 52 Mantle and 23 Bowman.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They'll have a card with the same name, with different artwork,
okay,
the same functionality. I think the reason they do that is because when you play standard tournaments, you can only use like the last, let's say, 6 releases. And so if a staple card rotates out of that, then they need to have one rotate in that takes that one's place. And it usually is the same type of card with different artwork.
Fantastic.
So hopefully
Donruss Racing, I'm assuming there's kabooms in there. If people love
so.
that
I think so.
kaboom cards. And then Leaf Metal Football. That's this year's class, or is it going to be some of these prospects that are coming in?
Leaf Metal Draft. So it'll be the guys that just got drafted. It's a 2023 product.
Okay, so Bryce Young, all
there'll
these,
be
all
some
the
other
new cards,
prospects and stuff in there as well. But now you got me. I'm looking up the Donruss Racing.
People are crazy about them kabooms, man. They love them. And to have a kaboom of some NASCAR guys would probably be pretty cool.
But kaboom is not a Donruss product. That's what makes me right. Like downtowns are the Donruss.
Is it a downtown then? That'd be cool.
I'm going to answer that for you shortly.
And while he's looking that up, another product that you didn't list, you may not be getting it. I believe that it may be coming out is Topps Tribute, but you said you didn't see that on your list.
Yeah, I think that date has gotten moved.
Got pushed? Okay. Yeah. And that's a high-end product.
Yeah, that is a product we usually carry.
Yeah. Did you find that info on Donruss what the big insert
I'm looking at some of the cool inserts out of there.
I think that'd be cool. A downtown with like the racing, with like the actual track behind it would be cool. Well, that Richard Petty photo has been kicking around for a long time. Long time.
Yeah, so there's 10 downtowns.
Okay, so it is a downtown.
There's a lot of different inserts in this set. Yeah, so I guess downtowns is one of the big chasers in that product.
Pretty cool.
It's always a pretty affordable product. We usually get, a case or two on opening on launch day, roll through it, and then move on and wait till next year. So,
okay. All right. Well, let's move on to behind the counter. And if you saw the thumbnail for this episode, we with the NBA Finals done, we're in sort of that pre-All-Star game baseball season, and so things are starting to settle out there, so people are looking for the next thing to pay attention to, and that's going to be the NFL. The Nationals coming next month, and I figured we should cover some football cards. This would be a good time to do it. So rise, surprise, or fade away. Those are your picks here. So I'm going to give you a name, and you have to say they're going to rise in value, surprise us, or fade away. So let me start with my guy Russell Wilson.
Oh boy.
And Jacob, if you could pull up, I put it in the show note link. This is a sale of his rookie. It's just a base chrome, Topps Chrome PSA 10. If you could pull that up, that'd be great, Jacob. So your opinion, will Russell Wilson, will he rise in value? Will he surprise us? Or will he just fade away? Is he a shadow of himself?
I think he rises, and I'm not a fan of his, but I think their coach last year was so bad, and Sean Payton is so good. I think he can only rise.
Okay. I'm
going to have to leave that enough to buy cards of his right now. No, but I do think that there's a good chance.
I don't think he's got any choice but to rise. It was really bad last year. Like in golf, you would call him a sandbagger. Like you would, I've played plenty of golf with guys to where they'll lose money to you for 3 weeks straight and look like a complete dog out there. And then when the stakes get raised just a little bit, all of a sudden they're like Tiger Woods. And you're like, I feel like I just got sandbagged. Yeah. I think it was so bad last year that that he has nowhere to go but up. So I'm going to say rise for Russell Wilson as well. So let me bring this up. Jacob's having some issues over there. So the next guy is Aaron Rodgers. Rise, surprise, or fade away.
Dies. Oh, I mean,
and so this is, I pulled this up. This just sold.
Our resident Jets fan over here says
Uh-huh.
Collins Super Bowl MVP.
Oh my goodness.
I think he's rise, and it's not a surprise. I think the Jets are going to be really good.
And if you're watching this live or catching this on the replay, this is just his Chrome, his base Chrome 2005 Topps Chrome. It's crazy that that his rookie card, one of his most sought after rookie cards. That's a practice jersey, right? That's like OTAs. You can't even get them in a game. But this just recently sold. Looks like a few days ago, a couple weeks ago, $1,500 for Aaron Rodgers rookie card. Just to give this a little bit of context, the Russell Wilson base PSA 10 sold for $123. So I would say that this Topps Chrome Aaron Rodgers and this Topps Chrome Russell Wilson, those are comparable cards, right? And for one to go for 10 times as much, plenty of room on that Russell Wilson. Plenty of room. Now, I don't know about Aaron Rodgers. Is this price here is $1,500? Is that him winning a Super Bowl, or was it there already?
Yeah, I'd be shocked to see that go much higher. It's gonna. I mean, if the Jets just roll and he's they're a powerhouse and it looks like they're a favorite to go deep into the playoffs or even do the Super Bowl, I mean, it'll go up a little bit for sure because there'll be so much hype around him. But it's a base.
We'll see. But 2005, 2000, even 2012. I don't know. I mean, Jacob, do you want to look up the pop counts on these? If you could, that'd be an interesting thing to know of what the pop counts on these cards are. There's no way it's even close to the pop counts today. So even these base cards back then, it'd be interesting. All right, so I didn't give my vote.
You're muted or something. No sound. You can move your lips and I'll talk for you. Hi, I'm an idiot. Yeah. I think that one's surprised because we don't know. And we can assume he's a good quarterback going to a good team that only needed a quarterback, that they're going to rise, but it's a little more of a surprise probably. Moving on. Wait, Michael says, one moment. This is like one of those old 1920s films. We need it in black and white. Don't worry, we can edit all this out later. Oh, wait, this is live. We can edit it. No, you don't. Your mic's not working. Oh, this is going to be a fun podcast. I get to do this one by myself. Oh, we're going to have to pull in Jacob for
all good.
Oh, there you are.
There we go. I have no idea. So I didn't give my vote for whether or not Aaron Rodgers is going to rise, surprise, or fade away. I think he's going to surprise us, but I think he's going to surprise us by how bad he's going to be. I think he's going to. There's this cliff that quarterbacks sort of fall off when they reach a certain age, and if you look statistically, and I don't know this, I've just heard this on talk shows, like Colin Cowherd has said it. The First Take guys have said it. I think this is the year where Aaron Rodgers really falls off.
I remember
really
when
do.
the ESPN guy, what's his name, Max something.
Kellerman.
Yeah, he said Brady's done. He fell off a cliff. I think it was like 3 rings ago, and a couple MVPs later, Tom Brady was still doing. So,
well,
I know.
that's why Brady's Brady, right? Because he defied the odds. So,
all right, we'll see what
all right.
happens.
Let me share this document with Jacob real quick, and then that way he can do a little bit of
Who's our next QB
research for us. Our next victim, dude, is Justin Herbert.
Ooh.
Rise, surprise, or fade away?
See, I'm so jaded because these guys are all good for business when they rise. I'll say he almost doesn't fall into any of those categories. Like the first year, he passed the eye test for everybody. They're like, this dude's got it. They didn't make the playoffs. Then it was like the next year, this dude's got it. They're even better. They got into the playoffs. They had a huge lead on the Jaguars before they made their epic comeback. But how far would the Chargers maybe have gone had they not let that one against the Jags slip away? So maybe I feel like he's just going to slowly get better and maybe progress, maybe win a playoff game this year instead of just getting in. So that's rise, I guess. But I don't see him taking them to the championship game or the Super Bowl or anything. So it's a little rise.
Yeah, so if you look at this, and then I'm going to just toggle back and forth. If you're looking at Justin Herbert, PSA 10, and now granted, so you want to talk about pop counts. I'd bet the mortgage that this is twice, 3 times, 4 times as much as this card here from Russell Wilson at a PSA 10. Although I say that, but I don't know what the sort of the quality control of this card is. But I think that's a little bit reflective of this price because, I was actually shocked that it was this low.
Yeah, I guarantee it's pop count related. There's a billion of those out there.
So, but I think he's going to surprise us in a good way. He's got the arm talent. Everybody's sort of rooting for this kid just because he's super marketable. He's like that sunshine character, that guy from Remember the Titans? Just the blonde kid with the flow that plays quarterback. He's like the all-American guy. He's like West Coast Trevor Lawrence, right? It's just I've said this before, winning is hard. Winning is really hard at this level. And he's going to need some help. Arm talent could only take you so far.
He's got a gauntlet of future Hall of Famers that are just getting started. Burrow and Mahomes and Allen and all those guys.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I could see a scenario to where they give him a couple more years. And if he flames out, he may end up somewhere else. If he ends up at some NFC team, then maybe. But, yeah, I think he's going to have a good season. I don't know if this number is going to go up. So, all right, last one. And then we'll take some. We've got some
pop count on the Herbert. Pop count for PSA 10s is 5,221.
That's a big number. Jacob, were you able to run the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilson? No. Uno momento. Okay, I'm going to buy you some time here and move on to the last name on the list. Mr. Josh Allen.
I guess we can't say rise on all of them, right? Some of them aren't going to rise.
How much longer?
He makes me a little nervous.
How much longer are people going to give this kid? Look, he's super likable, super durable, sort of that Cam Newton without the bad attitude when they lose or when he's not playing well. But like, what rise, surprise, or fade away on this guy?
I'm gonna hope I'm wrong and say fade away, and he'll never fade away. He's gonna be a good quarterback for a long time, but I don't know, that might be foolish too. They're in a weak division. So does it count if they win the division and just, you know, sputter out in the playoffs and he just doesn't do anything, kind of like last year? Does that count as fading away? I mean, this dude's not going to fade away. He's too good. I just don't think he's going to rise this year. I think he's going to do what he did last year, have a solid year, make some mistakes, make people frustrated a little bit at how good he is, but doesn't go deep. I don't know. He's a mystery to me.
So, let's pull up that pop count. What's that pop count on the Josh Allen? Look at that.
A lot less, 19, right under 1,900.
Yeah, less than 2,000 copies of that PSA 10. That's for ultra modern. It's not bad. As you know, I'm a big golf fan, and Phil Mickelson and Ernie Els and all these other guys, they played in the same era as a guy named Tiger Woods. And golf is a lot different as far as winning percentage goes than football. But I think Josh Allen is running into a guy named Patrick Mahomes that it's just unfortunate that he will probably not get a shot at, not even a shot at the Super Bowl, as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing well. And that's just the fact. He's just born in the wrong. He's in the wrong division or born in the wrong decade because Mahomes is that good.
Yeah, I guess you gotta hope it's like the Big Ben, Eli, Peyton, Breeze, Brady. Brady will be the Mahomes. He's gonna win most of them.
Yep.
But Big Ben and the rest of them maybe sneak one in here and there.
Yep.
That's gonna be Burrow and that's gonna be Allen and hopefully Lawrence and Herbert and those guys.
Sneak one in. The AFC quarterback scene is just packed.
I will say
this is the Aaron Rodgers rookie card. Color me surprised. I
3,200.
Did not think it was this high. I honestly didn't think. What was the one that we just saw? It was the Josh Allen. I can't believe there's more of these than the Josh Allen at a PSA 10. Maybe there's a quality issue with that Josh Allen card.
Well, yeah. Well, the Josh Allen card, I think that white bordered tops is a lot easier to grade than those Prism cards. So there's definitely a quality difference from old school tops, probably.
Yeah. Jacob, one more. Let me just see that the numbers on the Russell Wilson rookie, that pop count.
And I'll say for the hobby and for the NFL, there's like 5 or 6 quarterbacks that this is a huge year for. Mac Jones, it's poop or get off the pot for him probably with the Patriots. He's got to have a really good season, point him in the right direction for sure. JP in the comments saying Deshaun Watson, come on Deshaun, you're gonna have a full year here. They paid you a fortune. He's a really good quarterback. This might be the year for him as well. But the Trey Lance, Brock Purdy scenario in San Fran, that's going to say a lot and affect the hobby a lot. And then you got guys like Sam Howell and then of course the rookie guys. But who's Desmond Ridder? Is he going to get the starting nod?
I think he's going to get the starting nod there.
Big year for a bunch of quarterbacks.
Yeah. JP is saying, or Facebook user Justin Fields. Derek, hello. Thanks for joining us. Here's the number on the Russell Wilson. Wow. 13. Super low. The pricing with the pop that low that's telling me that the hobby is getting ready to jettison Russell. So there may be some opportunity there. There may be. I think out of the 4 guys that we just talked about, I think Russell Wilson has the most upside there.
For sure, unless they score 9 points in the opener and he's 14 for 30 with an interception.
Yeah.
And 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, that.
All right, real quick, I do want to bring up a couple guys We don't have to bring these cards up, but I think it would be helpful for some context, Jacob. So Anthony Richardson, pop quiz, who's he play for?
Colts.
Colts. He may get the starting nod. And we just don't know. But out of Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, and Jacob's going to bring some of these cards up. C.J. Stroud, and the long shot in these four is Will Levis. If you had to throw a dart onto a dartboard and hope you hit one of these names for them to do really well this season, and really well for a rookie quarterback, is like what? Not everybody's going to be Mac Jones and have Bill Belichick for a coach the rookie season, but who does well out of those four? So there's Richardson. That's crazy. People are selling that card for $80.
Yeah, I feel like I'd almost put my money on him just because the team's better. But
that's a great point.
I hear good things about Bryce Young is looking pretty good, but size has everybody scared there.
Mm-hmm.
Eric saying Stroud, crazy weapons. I think that's why. I mean, you got some nice weapons in Indianapolis. I don't know. I think he'd be a little bit of a dark horse there, but I don't watch enough college football, so I don't have enough. I'm just going by what I hear, but yeah. You're not wrong, Derek.
Yeah. For me, if you look at just the program they came from and just physically, I don't hate the Will Levis kid. I think Bryce Young, there's enough people sort of squawking about his size that have me concerned. I just don't know enough about Richardson or C.J. Stroud. But the Will Levis pick, he looks like an NFL quarterback to me. And he may get a shot. Where's he at? I think he's he's in Tennessee. Right. So, yeah. I don't know how much leash they're going to give. Who's the guy there? It's not going to be Malik Willis, is it?
Well, it'll be Tannehill, Willis, and him.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah,
so, I think the moment Tannehill slips up a little bit, it's either going to be Willis or Levis, and I would probably put money on Levis. But
yeah, me too. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, guys. This is what makes the hobby fun. For me, I'm still going to sort of, the chips are in the middle of the table for Russell Wilson. I really do think that, like I said, he has nowhere to go but up. And I hope this Will Levis kid gets a shot, and I hope Bryce Young doesn't get killed, because he looks teeny. He looks, the footage I've seen, it looks like a little kid out there running around, and he's a grown man, and he looks like he's a teeny kid out there. I couldn't even imagine. Could not imagine. So, all right, let's move on to listener questions. So, Josh, you said you had somebody email you or text you one. What's that say?
Let's see if I think I saved it here. Let me pull it up. So this was emailed to me. I'm not going to give the name, but it was a great question, and we'll tackle it now because sometimes, I get this question in the store a lot as well. It says, hello. I'll skip a little bit of the personal information. It says, I just got into sports cards after finding all my junk from the 90s in the basement. Heard that many times. They have done a few breaks online. He's talking about his kids and picked up a few decent cards. We plan on coming to your first trade night this week at your shops. Quick question for you. How do you go about figuring out values of one-of-one cards? One of his kids has pulled a one-of-one Clinton Portis NFL Shield out of Playbook, autographed. And another pulled a one-of-one Tom Brady 2022 Contenders Optic printing plate, unsigned. I'm trying to gather some value on their cards so they can have some reference point for trade night. So obviously a one-of-one, you don't have a comp to go off of. So that's why a lot of people ask that question. So there's a couple ways we do it here at the shop. The Tom Brady printing plate one is really easy. You just look up other Tom Brady 1-of-1 printing plates, and they all go for similar prices. You're looking at like 200 to 400 depending on which product it comes out of. Printing plate autos aren't nearly as high because there's really 4 for each card because they use the 4 different colored plates to make the card. And so while it is a 1-of-1, there's only one of it. It'll either be the black or with the yellow, the cyan, or whatever the other colors are. So there's 4 of them, I believe. So that's usually what I tell people. Printing plate one's pretty easy. Find one that's, the same year or close to it. You obviously don't want to go by rookie year if the printing plate you have is not a rookie. And signed versus unsigned. And then go by the product. If it's out of a low-end product or a high-end product, that'll affect it a little bit too. But I typed in Tom Brady 1-of-1 printing plates. I own 2. I don't own a Tom Brady 1-of-1 outside of the printing plates. But they're pretty steady between $200 and $400 around the 2019 to 2022. The other cards are a little tougher. So what we usually do at the shop is find that same card from that same set of a similar player in value. The Clinton Portis, you'd want to find one from another guy that's maybe retired or somewhere in that same value and give you an approximate value there. You could also go like if his number to 25 is sold and his number to 10 is sold and his, you got a couple comps there on the number, maybe a number to 5 is sold, but then the 1-of-1, especially if it's of a logo shield, it's going to be probably better than all of those. You got to throw out some crazy comps. I always like to throw out one that's unusually high. I'll throw out one that's unusually low, kind of work with the rest of them. But that's how we do it. Find a similar player out of a similar product and see if anything has sold, or go by some of the other little bit higher numbers and just know that the rarer one would be worth a little bit more. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so not all 1-of-1s are created equal, obviously. You got to go by product. A black, black finite out of prison is certainly going to do better than a 1-of-1 out of Donruss football. It's just or
XR. XR is historically known for just loading it with 1-of-1s.
Right. So it's going to be product, and then the player, product. And then, there's certain things that are going to have eye appeal, that black finite, I think one of the reasons why it's sought after, it's just a gorgeous card. Heck, the pictures of the 1-of-1 ring card out of Magic the Gathering is beautiful, right? I think that's why sometimes these printing plate 1-of-1s don't do as well just because they're not as good looking. But Josh is right. Find a similar card, find a similar player, and sort of work backwards from there. Sometimes you see 1-of-1 and your eyes light up and you think you got a lottery ticket, and you just got to temper those expectations when it comes to that.
I like your eye appeal one because you get some of these and you're like, you don't even realize it's a 1-of-1. It's just stamped 1-of-1 because it's got a little different blue borders. It's the only blue bordered one or something like that. But you got to think too, if you're selling your Clinton Portis 1-of-1, if it's a beautiful, let's see, did it say what it was out of Playbook. So it's a booklet, a booklet is kind of cool. Big old, NFL logo shield. It's autographed, that's going to come into play. So eye appeal for sure. Because if a guy's out there saying, look, I got X amount of dollars, I want to buy a 1-of-1 of my favorite player. My favorite player is Clinton Portis. I'm sure there's someone out there. There's somebody out there. They're gonna pay a little more for the one that's really cool looking. So I think eye appeal, you're right, is a big part of it.
It is. One second. I'll be right back.
Oh, well, is there something we can do? Hits from the shop?
Go some hits in the shop. I'll be right back.
All right, Jacob, we're going to roll through hits from the shop. These are customer hits. Jacob should have me loaded up here, but we have some doozies this week. So this is number to 10 out of the newly released Select Football. Sam Howell. Big card. We need a big year out of him. Here is that Magic the Gathering numbered to 700. So one of the serial numbered cards out of that product. I don't know what these fetch. The asking prices for the few that have hit the market are huge. I think people are saying, well, if the one of one is 2 million, then the one number to 900 and 700, those should be in the tens of thousands in theory. So we'll see what they go for. They're not going to go for that much, but very, very lucrative for sure. This was pulled yesterday. A customer bought closing time and sent this to me and said, hit another monster from your shop. So a little Mike Trout number to 25 autograph out of Topps. There it is, 20 of 25.
Cow.
Beautiful card on that old school variation. I love
What's that out of?
That's Topps Series 2.
My goodness.
This came out of a retail box. No, an H2 box, hybrid box. Customer hit this. Kyle Trask. Auto number to 99. We'll see what happens there. This was pulled in the shop last year out of Kaboom last season. And the young man hung on to it, didn't take our offer, sent it in to be graded through us. We got it back for him, and it got a 10.
Good for him.
So he brought that. He picked that up. I was like, ooh, I got to take a picture of that. We can show it off. So
nice.
And then here, sometimes customers take some product from the shop and send me the hits that they end up pulling, whether they're breaking it or whatnotting it or whatever. But this is hard to see. This is an XRC redemption for running back 1. So the first running back in the draft, which I think was Bijan.
Well, hold on. Go back to that.
Hold up.
So XRCs are not live this year.
No, they were only live last year. I think
Wow.
COVID screwed all that up potentially. So I like this. They're back to being non-live. I think adds a little more demand for it. But yeah, that's running back 1. Congrats to the customer.
Sweet.
Also in that box was a Breece Hall patch auto RPA. That's number to 5. Those greens are numbered to 5.
My goodness.
Big card. We need a big year out of him too with the old Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
One of our slimiest customers bought a box of. Just kidding, Jacob. This is the big unit, number to 15. Autograph out of Panini 3 and 2. We didn't get a lot of that product, sold out fast, but that was a sweet hit. He's got a nice autograph.
That is cool.
Gotta love this. This is this year's sweet level out of Select. They're doing a sweet level. Get a couple per box. Jeff Carroll says, I thought I was the slimiest. You're the second slimiest. But look at that. You know I'm a sucker for tie-dyes.
That's awesome.
Mahomes sweet level tie-dye. Same customer bought a box of this, Bowman University. That's the gold parallel. Scoot Henderson, probably going in the top 5, right? Top 3 of the draft. Golds out of this product are numbered to 50. And then finally, wow, that's a big card. It's the Bowman Chrome Prospects autograph parallel of Victor. That was in the box that came in. You get 2 autos per box. He hit both of his autos, and then he said, whoa, I got a redemption. We were like, well, it's got to be Wemby because they added those products in later. We thought that, and boom, there it was.
Nice.
We've gone through case after case after case at the store of that product, and finally someone hit one, at least that I saw. This is one of those Super Bowl insert autos out of Select, right? Yeah, so not probably the best one on the checklist for the Super Bowl autos, but a Super Bowl auto on card nonetheless. Terrell Suggs of the Ravens. And in that, I think this was the other auto in that same box, I think. But another tie-dye. Sauce Gardner, rookie auto, number to 25. We had a busy week at the store. So this came out of 3 and 2. It's not Vlad Guerrero Jr., but it's his dad. Vlad Guerrero Sr. So that's a Hall of Fame signature swatches full count auto. I thought this was funny for this area. Little grandmama, Larry Johnson autograph that came out of a Prism hobby box. I said, I got to show that on the podcast. And then this box had 2 RPAs. Sorry, this one's sideways. I need to take pictures differently. But the box had Treylon Burks, and the other auto was the next card. Alec Pierce. So not two of the greatest, but both in the same box, 2 RPAs of rookies. So very cool. Those are case hits out of Donruss, I believe.
What product is that? That's gorgeous.
I think that's go back one, Jacob. That was I think that's
Diamond Kings?
Donruss baseball. No, is it?
Donner's Baseball. That's cool.
I think that
I'm assuming that's like a one of those canvas cards.
it is not. It looks canvassy. It's kind of more hollowy, maybe. I think. But
That's
customer
neat.
said it was one of the case hits, so I'm like, oh, cool. We got to take a picture of that. So, and then the next one was pretty sweet. Kenny Pickett downtown.
Downtown's flying out of the shop.
And that's one of them you want to hit for sure. If you don't hit Brady or Mahomes or something. And then probably the hit of the year so far. This is potentially one of in the top 2 or 3 cards of all of that Crown Royal set is the number to 10 Banchero Kaboom. The customer had to spend a little money to hit this one. He bought several boxes of it until he finally hit it. But what a payoff!
There you go.
We're estimating that's between $10,000 and $15,000 based on some of the other comps we've seen for stuff. But the LeBron sold for $19,000. The number to 10 where he's doing where
he broke the record. Yeah.
So you got to think that one's probably not far behind it.
Awesome.
That was hits from the shop.
All right. Sorry, I had to step away for a moment, but let's circle back to card from the vault or card from the shop. What do you got for us?
I have 3 really quick ones. I'm just excited. I got 2 cards back from grading, so I wanted to show those off, even though I'm not super stoked about the grades. I showed this at one time as my card from the vault. It was the Legitness insert out of Optic. So I sent it to PSA. I really thought I had a shot at a 10. It came back an 8. Don't ask me why. I'll never figure it out. But at least it's permanently slabbed. I love this card. So that was a previous card you all have already seen, but now you see it. I probably showed this one too, but I had a Zebra die cut Brady probably a few weeks ago. I got a 9 on this one. It just came back yesterday in our latest batch. But this is the cool card. This has a story to it. Customer brought this card in. We are sending it to PSA to grade. He said he bought this card in this case from Grand Slam about 30 years ago. And it's still in the case. And it's not, it moves a little bit. So, but we joked around. The Circle of Life, the card made its way back to the shop. It's the Star 86 Michael Jordan. And this thing is in beautiful shape. It's near perfect. So we're going to send that off. But I thought that was really cool. Long before I was ever involved with this shop, a customer bought that and now is bringing it back, and we're going to send it off and get it graded for them. So,
well, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I did open a box of Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings, and lo and behold, I got a ring card. And so this is not this is nothing real special, but it is. Josh, do you know what the orange means? Can you tell her? That's like
a mythic.
That's a mythic. The mythic parallel or the rarity of it is mythic. So I saw that. I mean, look at that artwork. It's just super cool. So my card from the vault. All right, before we have Josh take us out with Crazy Stat of the Week, just a quick reminder, trade night this Saturday, 6 to 9 at the shop. We're going to open up both sides. We're going to have the main shop and then the other side. Plenty of room. There are still some spots for that break, that premium NFL break. Look at that. It's all ready.
Lots of product. I think we're half full. We need to get that baby full before Saturday night.
Let's get that thing filled.
You can reserve a spot and then pay by Saturday. So go in, grab a spot.
Absolutely.
Pay by Saturday. So
let's get that break filled. Let's get the shop filled Saturday night. I'm looking forward to it. Not that card nights were not fun, but there's something about going back to trade night at the shop to where we're packed in there like sardines and looking at each other's cards.
A little more breathing room this time. So
absolutely. All right. take us out with crazy stat of the week, Josh. What
I
you
have
got
two.
for
I
us?
have two. The first one says there has been only 2 pitchers in MLB history with the last name Moyer. Can you name one of them?
Jamie. He's like Jamie Moore. He has ended up like being like one of the oldest pitchers ever, right? Jamie
Yeah.
Moore.
So Jamie Moyer is one. You won't guess the other one, but the other one is Ed Moyer. Ed pitched for the Senators in 1910 and died on November 18th, 1962. He died the same day that Jamie Moyer was born, on Jamie Moyer's birthday. Jamie Moyer was born November 18th, 1962. So in all of MLB history, the 2 Moyers that have pitched in the bigs, one died the day one was born. I thought that was
That's kind of cool.
pretty mind blowing. And then last funny stat to take us out. Fun fact: on the very first ever Carolina Panthers training camp roster, featured on the same roster Bill Goldberg, the wrestler, and LeVar Ball, LaMelo's dad. So that same roster had LeVar Ball and Bill Goldberg on it. What a crazy matrix of a world we live in.
That's bananas. All right. Well, if you haven't already, if you've hung out this long, please like, subscribe, comment, review us on wherever you get your podcasts. And Josh, thanks for spending some time with us this afternoon. Jacob, thank you for producing. And for those of you guys who are here listening, watching, thank you. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Come see us at the shop. Peace.